will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, it brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing story time with Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing.
Good morning, and welcome to Storytime. Thank you so much for joining in. How are you doing today? I'm glad we're here together. Yes, indeed, celebrating Black History Month. Remember that Black history is every day. But of course, we take this time to be purposeful and to remind ourselves, set goals for how we're going to be observing this throughout the entire year, not just for the month of February. Thank you so much for joining in today. I am glad we're here together, and we're going to be sharing amazing books with Black kids just being kids, Black people just being Black people, just being there. You don't have to be excellent for you to be considered. No, we're just living, we're just human beings like everybody else. So thank you so much for joining in Storytime. I am glad you're here, and thank you for celebrating our culture. Thank you for celebrating, for being a part of this world, people that are making things better. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. I am glad you're here. And of course, we do have a wonderful books for this week, a wonderful book for today. Good morning to you. Please, as always, let me know where you're joining in from and who is joining in with you. It is always a pleasure to be here together, and of course to learn from each other and guide each other through this life. Thank you so much for joining in, and of course to make each other laugh as well, to enjoy a good laugh together, enjoy great books, travel through our books to amazing lands. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. I am glad you're here with me. Indeed, happy Black History Month. Thank you so much for joining in. And I know that the Lunar New Year celebrations are still ongoing. Please enjoy that. Yes, wishing you prosperity and fortune. Thank you so much for joining in today. I am glad we're here. Happy Wednesday wherever you are. And for those that are already here, good morning to you. Hugs for you. Yes, indeed. Thank you for being here on Storytime. Good morning to you. Oh, yes. Today we have a great book coming back. Yes, two girls that we love here on Storytime coming back here. Evelyn and REY and of course Daniela. They are back with this one. And this one is written by Medina and illustrations by Sonia Sanchez. Thank you so much for being here. I am glad you're here for this one. And we're reading it with permission of Candlewick Press. Thank you. Indeed, a big thank you to them and many other creators who've allowed to share so many wonderful things, wonderful books here on Storytime. Thank you for being here. Please do leave us a message. Let us know you're here so we can say good morning to you. Indeed, enjoy this wonderful morning or wonderful evening, depending on where you are. Thank you for being here. Yes, Evelyn and REY is moving away. Oh, how do we feel about that? Well, let's find out how Daniela feels too. Thank you so much for joining in. I love that we're here together. Let's see who is with us this morning, ready to enjoy a wonderful story. Baby Bia, how are you doing today? Thank you so much for joining in Storytime, and say, we love today's story. Well, I am with you on that. I love this book so much. Thank you. And it is written by Medina and illustrations by Sonia Sanchez. Thank you for joining in. You're saying good morning to everyone. Yes, indeed, baby Bia and Amanda Waltman out in Seattle. Chilly Seattle, dark Seattle today. Thank you so much for joining in. We hope that the brightness will be there from this story, and by the time we're done with this story. story. Thank you so much for joining in Story Time. Glad you're here with us. Yes, indeed, early morning. Appreciate you. Hopefully you're in your cozy corner, your story corner, ready to enjoy this one. Thank you so much for being here. Good morning to you. And of course, Marlin, we're not forgetting you, sweetheart. Thank you so much for joining in Story Time. And indeed, enjoy yourself. Thank you for being here. Good morning to you, Kate. How are you doing today? Yes, out in Pittsburgh, Theo and Garrick, welcome to Story Time. Thank you so much for joining in. Good to see your lovely faces back here on Story Time. Thank you so much for joining in out in Pittsburgh, Theo and Garrick. Thank you for joining us. And of course, not forgetting Kate. Thank you for being here. Absolutely love it. Sarah and Nathan in Icy, Illinois. Well, thank you so much for joining in Story Time. Hopefully, all the for love in this book brings you some warmth. Thank you so much for joining us on Story Time. Glad you're here. And of course, Amanda West, thank you for being here. Good morning to you. Welcome to Story Time. Icy, Illinois. Thank you so much for being here. Terry McLeod and of course Abraham. Good morning to you. And they say it's so cold outside. I know, right? Thank you so much for joining in. Happy Black History Month. Yes, to help celebrate, Abraham is reading Little Heroes of Color. Well, Abraham, thank you for doing that and for sharing that wonderful idea. So out there, if you can try it as well, try out what Abraham is doing. What are you doing to celebrate Black History Month? And indeed, do share your ideas if you can, and others out there can learn from you too. Thank you so much for joining in. Abraham, appreciate you, little brother. Thank you so much for joining in Story Time. Enjoy our story today. This one, Evelyn Del Rey is moving away. Yes, coming to you from Medina, illustrations by Sonia Sanchez, and of course, reading it with permission of the publishers, Candlewick Press. Thank you so much for being here. Good morning to you. All the way out in Natchitoches, Louisiana. Auntie Anne, welcome to Story Time. I love that you've become such now a member of the Storytime family. Thank you for being here. Absolutely appreciate you. Of course, Chad and Braylon, love you to bits. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Pamela Courtney, thank you for being here. Good morning to you and welcome to Storytime. I hope you are having a lovely time. I know you are slightly ahead of me. So how is it? What have you done so far? Have you been able to go outside and see the Cardinals again today? Thank you so much for joining in Storytime, everybody. Get ready for our story because we'll be reading. And we come back from the break. Evelyn Del Rey is moving away. This one coming to you from Candlewick Press, written by Medina, illustrations by Sonia Sanchez. And please do join me on the other side of this message. I will be right back.
How you doing? This is Jonathan Marshall. I'm author of the books I'll Be Right There, Does It Rain Food, and also on the way, Me and My Kazoo at the Zoo. And you're here with Storytime with Mr. Lamata.
Hello, I'm Olalu Ogunyemi, officer in the United States Marine Corps and author of Crow from the Shadow. You are tuned in with my brother on Storytime with Mr. Lamata. Enjoy and God bless.
All right, welcome back. Thank you, brothers. Thank you indeed. Please do check out their books. Absolutely love them. And of course, Olaolu Ogunyemi will be back here on Storytime this month. So do look out for another great conversation and another great story reading. All right, here we go. Evelyn Del Rey is moving away. Oh, yes, indeed. Written by Medina, illustrations by Sonia Sanchez. And of course, we're reading this one with permission of Candlewick Press. Here we go. I hope that color of the sun brings you some warmth. Evelyn Del Rey is moving away. Aww. This one written by Medina, illustrations by Sonia Sanchez, and of course read with permission of Candlewick Press. Evelyn Del Rey is my mejor amiga, my numero uno best friend. Come play, Daniela, she says, just like she always does. Just like today is any other day. But is it just any other day? I love that. Who is your numero uno best friend? Your mejor amiga or amigo. So I bundle up and cross the street. A truck with its mouth wide open is parked at the curb, ready to gobble up Evelyn's mirror with the stickers around the edge, her easel for painting on rainy days, and the sofa that we bounce on to get to the moon. Oh, such fun stuff, isn't it? I want to bounce on a couch and get to the moon. What do you do on your rainy days? She is waiting for me inside the iron doors. Then we climb the steps 2 at a time, just like we always do. Can you run as fast as Evelyn and Daniela? Did you say you can run faster? Oh my. We sneak past grouchy Mr. Miller's door and wave to Mr. Sue, who's feeding pigeons from the hall window. Senora Flores gives us each a cookie and says, "It's the big day," when we walk by. Oh, indeed. It is the big day, indeed. Who are your neighbors? Do you say hi to them? We sneak past grouchy Mr. Miller's door. Who's that grouchy neighbor? And wave to Mr. Sue, who's feeding pigeons from the hall window. Senora Flores gives us each a cookie and says, "It's the big day," when we walk by. I want a cookie too, Senora Flores. Our apartments are almost twins, just like us. That's why I already knew all the good places for hide and seek and the spot behind the heater where we keep our special finds. Oh. What is your favorite spot to hide? Don't give it away. No. But the walls in Evelyn's room are sunny yellow, while mine are pink like cotton candy. And I live with my mommy and a hamster. And she has a mommy, pappy, and a cat. We are mostly the same, just like our apartments, but not after today. Oh. We find a still empty box near the door. In no time, I am a bus driver steering us all over the city. We play until the tables that were bus stops are gone, and the beds that were skyscrapers have vanished too. Oh. When we look around, everything has disappeared except us. Oh. Aww. Soon, the truck outside rambles off, and there is a knock on the door. "Hide, hide," we say, giggling and running about just like we always do. But our mothers see us before we can slip away. "Time to go," Mommy says. Oh, time to go indeed. Oh. Evelyn and I hold hands in that wide, empty space. We lean back and start to spin in circles, faster and faster until everything is a blur around us. Our fingers slip, but we don't let go until we wobble to the floor. Oh. We can talk every day after school, I tell her, though the world is still whirling. And you can visit me this summer, she says. and spend the night. Oh. I love that they're already planning what's going to come ahead. Oh. Evelyn and I hold hands in that wide empty space. We lean back and start to spin in circles, faster and faster, until everything is a blur around us. Our fingers slip, but we don't let go until we wobble to the floor. We can talk every day after school, I tell her, though the world is still whirling. And you can visit me this summer, she says, and spend the night. Oh, yes, pajama party. But I know that tomorrow everything will be different. Evelyn will be in a new home that doesn't match mine. Oh. Before we leave, I spot something in the corner, left behind in the dust. It's the last of Evelyn's sparkling stickers. We go downstairs and I press a heart on her cheek to seal our promise. Then she does mine just the same. Oh. We say, patata, while mommy takes a photo. We do our secret handshake one more time. And then Evelyn hugs me hard. Oh. Evelyn Del Rey is moving away, so she won't be right here anymore. Oh. Mommy says not to be sad, that we will both make new friends. But when Evelyn waves one last time, the stickers still on her cheeks, I know she will always be my first mejor amiga, my numero uno best friend. Oh, yes. But when Evelyn waves one last time, the stickers still on her cheeks, I know she will always be my first mejor amiga, my numero uno best friend. Oh. The one I will always know by heart. Oh. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime today. I am glad you were here for this one. Yes, indeed, little ones joining us today. I'm wishing you friendships that last a long time, friendships that indeed will be your sustenance, friendships that will guide you, friendships that will indeed make you smile and laugh. And remember too that friendships are a journey. Sometimes they're up and sometimes they're down, but those that stick with you, please hold them tight. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. I am glad you are here for this one. Yes, indeed, a wonderful friendship in here. Evelyn and Daniela saying goodbye, but you definitely feel the love between them. And as you can see at the end too, that friendship just lasts and lasts. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Hold on to your friends. Say hi to them. Indeed. Thank you for being here. This has been Storytime for today. I hope you enjoyed the wonderful book that we had. Evelyn Del Rey is Moving Away. This one by Medina, illustrations by Sonia Sanchez. A beautiful book indeed, and read with permission of Candlewick Press. Big thank you to them for allowing us to share this one to kick off in earnest our Black History Month celebrations. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Absolutely love the time that we're here together. Tomorrow we're back with another story, another exciting story coming back to Storytime from one of my favorite authors. And this one is Melana's Jubilee. Yes, the story of a fresh start. And this one is coming to you from Zita Elliott and Aaron Boyd. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. I hope that you join us for that that one tomorrow. I hope that Evelyn and of course Daniela put smiles on your face, put sunshine in your life today, and I hope they made you laugh. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Glad we were here together. Let us see who is with us on Storytime today, enjoying wonderful, wonderful stories indeed. Thank you for being here. Absolutely appreciate it. And of course, one more time, baby Bia and Amanda, you're saying still in our PJs and cuddled up on the couch, nice and cozy. I love that. Marlon's sleeping, so she will catch the replay. Well, Marlon, we love you and thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Get all the rest that you need. Thank you so much for joining in. Nate, we're sending you love as well. Thank you. I am glad you're here on Storytime. Thank you so much. And of course, Pamela Courtney, always can trust. Thank you so much. And say we're using books for our history, social studies with all different now New York. Thank you so much. I love that. Thank you for sharing that one with me. And of course, Johnson and Unspeakable by Carol Weatherford. Well, I love it. Thank you for sharing those books. I will personally be looking into them as well. I do not know those two. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you, Pamela Courtney. And of course, if you do want to check out, there are many, many books out there too. We can indeed check out books about solidarity, books about joy, books about beauty. Please do read. There are many, many out there. Wonderful ones indeed. And talking of wonderful books, beautiful books, join me for this fun book tomorrow, Melena's Jubilee. Yes, I love it, and I hope that you can join us for that one. Thank you for all the recommendations and, of course, the love you show to Storytime. Absolutely appreciate each and every one of you. I hope that you have a wonderful day indeed, and we'll be bringing some exciting books here to Storytime. So please keep up, stay tuned, and on weekends you can always check our archives and enjoy wonderful stories. But also, we do have stories. We take recommendations. So if you have any recommendations, please do send them forward. Thank you to everybody that's sent in some yet so far, and I am glad to always see them. Or you can do it just like Pamela Courtney did just now, and I will definitely be looking into those. I'm always interested in finding new books to read here and, of course, to share with my class as well. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. I am glad we were here together. Please have a wonderful, wonderful day. One more time, baby Pia and Amanda, and, of course, Marlon, thank you for joining in Storytime. Garrick, Theo, and Kate out in Pittsburgh, thank you for being here on Storytime. Absolutely appreciate you. Amanda, West, Sarah, and Nathan in Icy, Illinois, thank you so much for being here. Abraham, and of course, Terry, appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining in. Please do stay warm. It is really cold out here for Oakland. It is indeed cold. Thank you so much for joining us on Storytime today. And of course, out in Natchitoches, Louisiana, Braylon, Chad, and of course, Auntie Ann, thank you so much for joining us. Absolutely appreciate you. Hugs, and I will see you again tomorrow for another exciting story when we bring to you Melena's Jubilee, and this one is coming to you from Zeta Elliott and of course Aaron Boyd, and we're also reading this one with permission of Tilbury House of Maine. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Absolutely love the time that we spent together, and I hope that you go out there and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining in Storytime. And also, as Evelyn and Daniela, I wish you friendships that last, friendships that sustain you, friendships that nourish you, friendships that are good for your soul. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Hugs. I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.
That I look and think, read me all of your stories. Read me all of your stories. Some stories from far away, others right here in my neighborhood.
Hi, everyone. I'm Amanda with Amanda Weltman Photography. I'm a photographer and printmaker based in the Pacific Northwest, and I believe that your face deserves wall space. Enjoy today's story time with my favorite storyteller, Mr. LaMotta.
Others right here in my neighborhood. Story time. Story time. Story time with Mr. LaMotta. He will be starting soon. Story time with Mr. LaMotta. dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? We just can't wait to be here. Brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? We just can't wait to be